Good morning again to everyone. This is Carrie calling from the Traverse City office. We have about a minute here, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Mike Dorvanen, who will be talking to us today about profile pages and some best practices to go along with that. Real quick before we get started here, I did just send out an email and I wanted to let everybody know that Tom Gray's mother did pass away. She passed away peacefully at home at the age of 93. So if you could all just keep Tom in your thoughts and prayers and his family, we would appreciate it. And they don't have arrangements right now, but if we hear of anything, we will let everybody know. So just wanted to share that with everyone. Okay, well, I've switched over to Mike, and I show it is 9:30. Let's make sure that he's unmuted. Okay, Mike, I'll pass it over to you.
Thanks. I'm going to maximize the screen here real quick and see if we can wrestle this computer. If you're ever presenting, make sure you show your screen first before you go to the presentation. Good grief. Okay, everybody should be able to see my screen. If you can't, Carrie.
Yep, we got it.
Let me know. All right. We've been working with our new Vice President of Marketing, Tracy Bacigalupi, which is one of the coolest words you can ever pronounce, and getting a lot of new things ready for 2017. And one of the things we've noticed, and everybody's noticed this if you've taken the time to do it, is looking at updated profile pages. We could nag about this every week, every month. In fact, we have. We've taken it on the road. We visited with managers. We know you guys have tackled your agents, but we think we have some solutions that work and want to share them with you today. So what to do? This presentation is basically the memo that we're going to put together, distribute to everybody, boiled into a PowerPoint. So you can either look at the PowerPoint, share the PowerPoint, or just take the memo in its entirety and share that as well. So this is just simply a quick checklist. This is going to be a quick and painless presentation. The work really follows after we're done here today. So profile pages, have you updated your ColdwellBanker.com profile? How do you look on CV Great Lakes? If you were to click on CV Great Lakes, let's say you're somebody moving to the area and you're looking for an agent, and you go up here and you say, find an agent. You know, this fancy little program starts dishing up agent photos right away. And it seems to me, and I'm going to be very stereotypical and generalized here, but the further you get away from major metropolitan areas, the more challenges we have. Sherry, that's cool. You know, that might work for your region. Does it work if nobody knows who you are? And who are these people who don't have photos not yet available? I would challenge those folks who don't have images to get on the stick and put images on their website. So profile pages, it should include a pretty handsome picture. Selfies are cool. You know, if you're doing something really interesting, like if you're a cliff diver or if you like high spaces and you can do selfie sticks from the Eiffel Tower, that's neat if that's the kind of market that you're working in. Or if you happen to breed this kind of dog, this is all very cool if that's the niche that you're working with. But by and large, a handsome profile picture is going to be far better than some made-up or no photo at all. We are working to provide some economical and affordable solutions in the near future here. Some may be free, some will be very expensive. We're going to be coming to offices, potentially bringing photographers around or inviting agents to stop on here. So these programs are in development. We feel so strongly about this part of the dealio. And I think most of you would agree. You could go through your office right now and find agents who are woefully behind. I had the opportunity to meet a $12 million producer a couple of weeks ago. Never met her in my life. Talked to her on the phone a zillion times. Helped draw quite a bit, and she's been working with marketing for the decade that I've been here. Her profile picture is 30 years old at least, and I was so stunned that when you're marketing yourself like that, how do you expect people to recognize you? I think it's a form of confidence that we shouldn't look past. So enough about that. Updating your contact information, you know, with people migrating to and fro and coming to the company, make sure your phone numbers are correct, email addresses. You know, if I go into online office right now and start sniffing around to see where people are posting or forwarding their emails to and all that, there's a ton of error in there. And, you know, agents are always concerned about not getting their data. Well, it starts with making sure these things are correct. I know many of you admins and managers are tasked with trying to make sure that this stuff is online and ready to go when agents come on board. But I think as agents stick with the company for years, they forget about this part of it, and things start to change and don't get taken care of. We're really concerned about what their experience is. You know, I mentioned niche markets, follow-up, market share, great marketing plan. So tell your story. What is it about you that's so cool? The video thing, we dance around this quite a bit. Videolicious still is probably one of the stronger opportunities because if you download it with the Coldwell Banker connectivity, it really works well. And JD Waldvogel, the new guy down in Holland, has had firsthand experience with this. He's newbie, figured it out, and it works really well. I think using Videolicious is a pretty good opportunity. Video, if you're on video, you're on the top of the search engines. The internet loves video. So get it done if you can, and if you can't, and you're overwhelmingly successful, that's cool too. Social pages, I keep hearing from people that the internet and this social thing is getting out of hand and that there's way too much effort to get it all done. Yeah, maybe. But if you participate, there's so much more opportunity for you out there. People find you through the search engines. If you're on Google Plus, if you're in LinkedIn and some of these things and you express your opinion in various areas and you find an audience that admires what you say and tends to follow you, then it's easy to weave that conversation. This is no different than sponsoring the local church social or the kids' baseball team with your logo and constantly showing up at the games and the potlucks and all those kinds of things. Frankly, this is easier. It's all online. It's behind closed doors. You can do it in your bathrobe. So I think being engaged online and doing interesting things is pretty cool. We still see a ton of recipes and that, and people talking about things that are more personal than perhaps business. But, with the home actions opportunities, some of the other newsletters, things that the company has produced that are being shared, I think those are trending more now as your niche and their spheres of influence tend to see some of the stuff that we're doing. So get engaged, share the stuff, and get on with it. What's your expertise? If you think in terms of buyer, seller, who would use you based on your particular skills? Do you specialize in this, vacation homes? Do you meet the needs of the first-time buyers? Habla Español, these kinds of things seem silly when we present them in this manner, but Spanish, oh my gosh, everything is going to Spanish. Half the television channels on Charter right now are in Espanol, so it's a huge market. If you can speak the language or at least fumble through it like I pretend to, it's not a bad opportunity to reach out to those that niche. I mean, these folks are coming in from everywhere and populating the countryside. Are you a data geek or UCDX? The data part of this is pretty huge. We've got a lot of folks who are monster salespeople. They could talk the way out of any situation or talk a buyer into any situation, but they couldn't hook their profile picture up if you asked them to. So we've got both sides of the coin here, and it's identifying those levels of expertise and then sharing them with your audience that I think is huge. And if you're particular weak in a particular area and you've got an admin who's a superstar, then certainly encourage that relationship to evolve as well. We know we have a ton of outstanding admins out there who are very gifted with the tech side, and that's frankly what we're all tasked to do because we're really working with a bunch of salespeople, folks. That part of it is huge. So a realtor who's pretty good at plugging things in and working the internet and getting that part of it done is pretty outstanding. But get it all written down. Make sure the narrative is there so you can apply it to the different places you can put it online. Credentials and qualifications. This cracks me up. I get a lot of news release information and people looking for ways to burst into the market. And I get a ton of people bragging about stuff they did in school, in school earlier than college. Some of that's neat. If you were a gymnast, this is a fair example. If you were a gymnast until you were a teenager and everything, your hips and joints burst, that might be something of interest. If you were a world champion, whatever. But there's a delicate balance between bragging about what you did in elementary school and how it applies to what you do as an adult. If you don't have any credentials beyond that, then it's time to get involved in some other kind of opportunities. But list your certifications, accreditations, and let the consumer know how these designations benefit them, which is the huge part. If you've got a smart home designation or certification, so what? What does that mean to me? I don't have a smart home. What's that going to do? Do I want to spend extra money to work with you because you know about smart homes? There's lots of assumptions people make about the things that they see. So be prepared to explain it, write it all down in a friendly manner so that it becomes easy for them to understand. And I think it helps flesh out who it is they'll be working with. Because if you go back to the profile picture, and I'm a new guy in Michigan, I'm just looking for somebody to work with, I'm going to click on one of those pictures just out of sheer amusement, frankly, and then start looking through and seeing what this person has to say. So this is all just a huge part of the program, we think. Painting the picture. Paint a picture of someone that they can connect with. Maintain your professionalism and don't include irrelevant personal information, like I was just saying. helping people get to know you. This being involved in the PTA or the chamber or other community events, I think, goes back to everything I just sort of said. You know, if you've got a passion for working with baseball teams, young children baseball teams, or any of these community groups where people like to know that you're taking care of their kids. I think getting in tune with what kids are doing and helping that part of the universe out is actually a genius way to go. But showing consumers that they can trust your expertise, I think, you know, they would certainly want to work with you. So if you're working with the, up here it's the Father Fred Foundation, helping the homeless and what have you, that's a great organization to be engaged with. And if people see that you're doing that, you know, they tend to think of you as more of a individual concerned about the community than, you know, what the commission split should be. So I think it's a nice, friendly way to reach out to folks. So really, this is it. At the end, in 2017, we've got a lot of cool ideas about things that we're going to be rolling out. We're going to be coming to you in a variety of different ways in 2017. But to get ready for that, think about the things you might need. Think about the things you haven't done that you need to get done. And if there's any way that the marketing team can help you, you know, please let us know. You know, reaching out through your manager, through your admin, back to myself, through Tracy, to the team in Holland. We've got new people coming on in Ohio. Your marketing team is growing by leaps and bounds, and our expertise level is skyrocketing with the social media, video, photo. All the things that we're doing now is huge. So there's nothing that we can't get done if you want to get it done. So please take a look at your pages. Managers and admins, get this information to your folks. I think it will go a long way. So the document, the bland document as it is, which just lists the bullet points, will be in the Blue Sync folder. And if you want to do this PowerPoint, you know, fine. This is just me jibber jabbering. But any way that we can help you present it, just let us know. Does anybody have any questions about any of this so far? And I don't know if you're catching them, Carrie, or if I am at this point.
Go ahead and type a question if you have one. While we're waiting for that, Ginger at our 522 Traverse City office did mention that Videolicious is a great program. She shares it with all of her agents, and even the ones that are a little bit tech challenged still find it very useful. So that is a great program tied together with Coldwell Banker. So if you guys have any further questions about that, you can look up that information in CB Exchange. Melissa said, "You're awesome, Mike," and I agree.
Thank you.
Yes, Melissa also mentioned that Videolicious would be a great lunch and learn topic for your offices. Great idea. Okay, well, I don't see any other questions. If somebody thinks of something after we go offline, feel free to shoot Mike an email or myself, and we really appreciate everybody calling in today, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Thanks so much, Mike, for joining us today.
Thank you.